Hey guys, Sarah here from Recovering Book Hoarder, and today we are going to continue with my Unhaul project, in which my current state of the Unhaul project is I went through all of the books on my shelves to decide which ones I know for sure that I want to read, which ones I know for sure I don't want to read, and then which ones are in the I don't know if I want to read it because I'm just not sure, and so I need to do try chapters. So that's what we are doing today. I believe that these are all historical fiction. Here's hoping I'm correct on that. So we are going to look at 5 books today. Those are The Royal Governess by Wendy Holden, Gilead by Marilyn Robinson, The Night the Lights Went Out by Karen White, The Mystery of Mrs. Christie by Marie Benedict, and The Church of Marvels by Leslie Perry. All right, so let's just go through these in the order that I just showed them to you. So first, let's check out The Royal Governess by Wendy Holden. I got in this because it just sounds, I love the royal family, so it sounds like it's right up my alley, but I have seen some reviews that make me question whether or not I will like it. So let's try out the chapter and see what I end up thinking. All right. Okay, so just read, there's like a very short little preface kind of thing, and then chapter 1. And I'm interested, other than, just maybe a little bit too descriptive, too many adjectives being used. But it's okay. I think the story sounds engaging, and I guess I didn't realize it, but it is actually, they are following Crawfie, is what they called the actual nanny that was Queen Elizabeth II's nanny. So, and I have the novel she wrote down on the floor to do a try chapter on here upcoming too. Marion Crawford is her actual name. So it's a a fictionalized version of true events. Okay, so I'm going to keep that one. All right, let's move on to Gilead by Marilyn Robinson. This was one of Oprah's picks, and then I found it on the buy one, get one 50% off shelf at Barnes & Noble and picked it up. So we'll see. Well, I think, I didn't even say, obviously this is about, let me go back for a second. So when we start out, Crawfie has just graduated with her teaching degree and is trying to figure out where she should be placed for teaching. And so she went to see this real elite school in Scotland. And the headmaster that's described in here is, picture the headmaster from The Wall, either the movie The Wall, or if you've seen the video The Wall by Pink Floyd. It's pretty much that type of professor. And she's like, I could never teach at a place like this. And she really wants to teach she wants to teach poor people. And her principal is trying to explain to her that if there's any hope at all for the poor people, it's to be an influence on these elite children who are growing up under the influence of this horrific schoolmaster right now. Wouldn't we rather instill in them values that will then be able to bring the poor people up out of the slum type of living that's in England? So that was the first chapter. And then I'm assuming she's going to, be placed as nanny of Queen Elizabeth and Princess Margaret. And we'll see that. Okay. Now, let me take a look at Gilead. All right, Gilead. So I'm reading it and I'm thinking, this is like a really long chapter, like abnormally long. So I flipped ahead to see how many more pages I had, and I kept flipping and kept flipping and kept flipping. And one of my biggest pet peeves is books without chapters. I hate it because I need to have a good stopping point. I don't like to stop in the middle of chapters. I need to stop at the end of chapters. So if there is no chapters, no, I don't like that. It's just like The Road with Cormac McCarthy by Cormac McCarthy was the same way. just takes away from the reading experience for me. So if I had realized that, I would have automatically gotten rid of this one. Well, I wouldn't even have bought it, but I would have automatically gotten rid of this one off my shelves without even reading it. So I also really wasn't wild about the writing style from what I was reading. So there is a 70-some-year-old preacher who is dying, but the only one that knows he's dying is his wife. He hasn't told anyone else, and it sounds like he has a 7-year-old son. I think it's really hard to understand. So I probably would have gotten rid of it even if I hadn't realized the chapter thing. So but there's a lot there for why I would not want to read it in the future. So that is my thoughts on Gilead. All right, moving on. Let's take a look at The Night the Lights Went Out by Karen White. And this one says, if Big Little Lies met To Kill a Mockingbird. Sounds intriguing. So let's see. And this is pretty, isn't she? That's a really pretty cover. All right, this is quick. So I only read, it was like a blog post, the first thing. So I was wrong. This is not historical. This is contemporary. And I really like when there's somewhat of like a multimedia type of deal in books, and this one definitely has it. Like I said, I read the blog post, and that just sucked me right in, so I really don't even need to read the first chapter. I'm definitely going to keep this one. And so it looks like this is a novel about a single mother, and she makes friends with this one woman who tells her lots of stories and gives her a new perspective on where she's living, which is Sweet Apple is the town name. And it's the last paragraph really gets me here. In a town like Sweet Apple, where sins and secrets are likely to be found behind the walls of gated mansions, as in the dark woods surrounding Marilee's house, appearance is everything, but just how dangerous that deception can be will shock all three women. Yes. And then a blurb on here from Star News says, combines elements of Still Magnolias with Gone Girl. All right, so yeah, definitely keeping that one. All right, moving on. The Mystery of Mrs. Christie by Marie Benedict. Okay, The Mystery of Mrs. Christie. First, let me preface this by saying I've never read an Agatha Christie book. Shame on me. I'm an avid reader, and I've never read Agatha Christie. Like, what's wrong with me? I need to make a point of doing that. In any case, this has sucked me in. Short chapters, but it doesn't matter. I'm sucked in. I definitely want to read this one. So, based on real life, I didn't know this, but Agatha Christie went missing for a time period, and when she came back, there was no explanation given, and it's been a mystery all this time as to what happened when she went missing. And this book is supposed to be about like a fictionalized version of what happened, what someone imagines happened while she was missing. So intriguing, and I really do like the writing style an awful lot in that. All right, last one for this go round, and that is The Church of Marvels by Leslie Perry. All right, I haven't finished the first chapter yet, but guys, I'm reading that anyone who watches me knows that my favorite place in the whole world is my camp, which is right outside of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, which is the groundhog capital of the world. And it's a small town. It's not something that you see everywhere. And I'm reading this, and it says she was born to a clan of miners in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. I love it. I love it. It's like seeing the name Pittsburgh to me in a book, but even more abnormal seeing Punxsutawney. So anyway, just had to share that with you guys. All right, going back to reading this first chapter. Okay, Church of Marvels. So this one starts out at the turn of the century, New York City. It is 1895, New York City. And we have this 19-year-old who is working. He is shoveling out the privies, something I never think about that had to be done a long time ago. People had to go and shovel out the crap from the bathrooms and stuff. So this gentleman, he's on a crew that's doing this, and as he's digging into the crap, he comes across a baby, and it looks dead. Everyone assumes it's dead. It's been buried in crap. No one knows how long. And as he's holding it, all of a sudden the baby starts to move and cry. And he's told to, like, hey, the foreman tells him, just leave that baby alone. Somebody will come by and find it. Just leave it be. And the guy who found it is kind of a foundling himself, and so he ultimately cannot leave this baby and decides to sneak her away into and takes her home with him. And that's what I know so far. And it sounds good. So I think I'm going to keep it. I like this description. Emma Donahoe wrote this. This quite literally marvelous novel takes you on a hallucinatory ride through old New York until the four threads of its protagonists' lives tangle and tighten like a noose. Irresistible. A hallucinatory ride. I like it. All right, so I'm going to keep that. So, didn't do as good this time. Only getting rid of one, which is Gilead by Marilynne Robinson. So, keeping The Church of Marvels, The Mystery of Mrs. Christie, The Night the Lights Went Out, and The Royal Governess. All right, so that is all I have. All right, guys, I will catch up with you later. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I also do color tube and floss tube content, and if you would like to see my upload schedule, you can find that underneath the community tab. Oh, also there will be links to all of these books in the description box. If you choose to click on one of those links, I would get a small portion if you decide to buy it as an Amazon affiliate, and that amount I put right back into my channel. Also, if there's anywhere, you want to find me other places, everywhere you can find me on the interwebs is down in that description box also. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.